Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. There are always harsh realities and dark truths beyond the all-good look of SeaWorld, an American marine mammal theme park. From life-threatening situations to covering up suicides and deaths of animals, here are 15 things SeaWorld does not want you to know. Number 15. Sunburned orcas. In their natural ecosystem, orcas live miles under the ocean and therefore do not get sunburned by the ultraviolet radiation of the sun. But in artificial pools and tanks, the chemical-mixed shallow water does not provide that protection. They often get badly burned by the sun. Summer is no fun for them, and doing 8 shows a day is no joke. The deepest tank in SeaWorld is 40 feet, which is a prank for these killer whales. SeaWorld shamelessly put black zinc oxide over their bodies to hide burns from public eyes. Number 14. Harsh training sessions. Marine animals, when once enter this park, their extremely brutal training period starts, in which they are confined in many different ways to make them earn money for the owners. They are not given food unless they learn tricks. During training, some orcas might show concerning behavior, but who cares at SeaWorld? An orca was also filmed who beached itself out of sheer depression and sadness. Her name was Morgan. In 1965, the first ever orca show at SeaWorld was performed by a female orca named Shamu at SeaWorld San Diego. Her mother was shot by a harpoon and killed before the young orca's very eyes by a marine cowboy named Ted Griffin. Number 13. Artificial breeding. Well, the whole thing of keeping wild animals in captivity is pathetic, but this entry is particularly gross. Trainers of killer whales masturbate the whales to collect sperm and then inseminate them with female orcas, who, by the way, are too young to be mothers to conceive and give birth. In nature, orcas choose their mates, but at SeaWorld, they don't have that luxury. Number 12. Age expectancy difference. Orcas in the wild have average life expectancies of 30 to 50 years. Their maximum lifespan is estimated to be around 60 to 70 years for males and 80 to 90 for females. Do you know the average age of orcas at SeaWorld? It's just 14 years. At least 168 orcas have died in captivity, not including 30 miscarried or stillborn calves. The age difference between averages of orcas being in the wild and captivity is more than 30 years. They do not thrive in captivity, and SeaWorld doesn't want you to know that. Number 11. Training of dolphins. Dolphins also undergo similar treatments as orcas do. They are separated from their families at a young age and are kept in small tanks where they are brutally trained and confined to learn tricks. They are kept hungry for hours to positively reinforce them to do tricks. It is inhumane to its very core. Number 10. Drug and sexual abuse. SeaWorld doesn't want you to know that they drug and sexually abuse dolphins. They masturbate the males to get sperm, and then females are pre-medicated with drugs before the artificial insemination of those sperm. There is no natural way for them to reproduce. Females are forcibly impregnated, and the procedure requires heavy restraint and sedation, a practice to call for a stop. Number 9. Surgeries of penguins. As if SeaWorld itself was not enough to make the life of marine animals miserable, there are some people as well who love to do the same. They throw things at penguins when they encounter them at SeaWorld. The innocent animals either eat them or get injured with them. The poor animals had to go through surgeries to remove these objects, but SeaWorld never tells that to the public. Number 8. Sharks. While humans only use 5 senses, and living in a confined room is hell for us, sharks have between 8 to 13 senses. Imagine their plight of curbed freedom. Living in small touch tanks at SeaWorld is extremely stressful and confusing for them. They want to avoid contact with people and don't want to be touched, poked, or prodded. Number 7. A crazy orca. What would you do if someone separated you from your family? Maybe you'll start banging your head against the wall, the gate, or something in utter anger of helplessness. This orca did the same thing, and the clip went viral. SeaWorld claimed that separation was a part of their training, but animal activists, when they saw this horrific clip, called out SeaWorld, and the theme park faced a lot of backlash. Number 6. Escape efforts of dolphins. This clip shows a dolphin jumping out of her tank, and I think it's the sanest thing to do. I mean, who would not try to break their cage that's holding them? But this is not the only case of a dolphin trying to escape. In another viral video, a dolphin jumped out of her pool during her show in front of hundreds of spectators. The trainers had to come in to rescue the poor animal back to the pool. Here's another incredible footage of a dolphin showing how she jumped out of the water and snatched a woman's iPad at SeaWorld. It might appear like a random act to you, but for me, it's likely the dolphin took that iPad as her food, and after doing the trick, she came out to take her reward for the maneuver. Number 5. Death of SZENJA. SeaWorld separated 2 bonded polar bears named SZENJA and Snowflake after a companionship of 20 years by sending Snowflake to another sanctuary. It left SZENJA without any other members of her species to interact with. The lonely bear used to roam her encounters sadly, and she died just 2 months after the separation, most probably because of a broken heart. Number 4. Unprecedented orca attacks. There is no recorded attack of orcas in the wild, but in captivity, orcas have attacked and even killed their trainers in more than 30 incidents. Some orcas have even committed suicide, like a very popular case of Hugo. It is a lesson that we should all learn, and the lesson is to leave the animals alone in their natural environments. Number 3. Collapsed dorsal fins. In captivity, all male orcas have collapsed dorsal fins as adults, which is a sign of an unhealthy orca. Such scenes are rarely seen in the wild, where only 1 to 5% of male orcas in the whole population have such fins. SeaWorld maintains its position by claiming that this condition is common and natural for all orcas, no matter wild or captive, which is not true. They are caused by the unnatural environment of captivity and are rarely seen in the wild. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by one of our subscribers. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it on over to us. Who knows, we might even feature it in one of our videos. It does not make any difference if you're a huge animal lover or a SeaWorld fan. The fact that these animals are not in their natural environment is itself outright cruelty. SeaWorld is known to kidnap killer whales from their families, and the subscriber pick points towards such kidnappings. All orca lovers know that they are extremely social animals, living in pods and sharing extreme social hierarchies. The hunters from the SeaWorld chase a pod of orcas and corner them, after which they kidnap baby orcas to train them in captivity. And if adult orcas hinder the kidnapping, they are ruthlessly killed. I would highly recommend the Blackfish documentary to every orca lover out there. It's a must-watch. Number 1. Sugar-coated trainers. This entry is perhaps the most perplexing. What do you do with the trainers? Are they culprits or just some numbers on the business sheets of SeaWorld? One thing is clear. SeaWorld is equally dangerous for its employees and the animals those employees work with. SeaWorld's corporate incident log contains reports of more than 100 incidents of orca aggression at its parks, which often resulted in injuries to humans and caused 1 death. Furthermore, those trainers are performers and not biologists. They have no formal education in marine biology. Their main purpose is to condition animals and entertain visitors, not educate people about their intelligence, social nature, or natural families, foraging behavior, and habitats of the animals held at SeaWorld. This is a whole big lie that sells for SeaWorld. If you truly have a heart that feels, then going to that place will bring nothing but guilt, anger, and heartbreak for you. Those animals are the beauty of our planet, but they will look wonderful only in their rightful place, which is wild, open oceans. Life at a SeaWorld park is miserable for all the animals forced to live there. Don't be a part of this and boycott SeaWorld. With this ending note, we finish our video here. Thank you very much for watching it. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos.